So on top of being a huge reptile nerd, I am a very big plant nerd as well, and I like to keep live planted bioactive enclosures in my facility, but I also like to decorate the facility with live plants as well. I think it adds a really beautiful aesthetic to the facility. I think it freshens the air and makes the overall appearance of the reptile facility that much more engaging. What's up, guys? This is Bill. So I dropped a video yesterday about me going plant shopping. I thought it would be a little fun and amusing just to kind of do a little quick run to the plant shop. But I realized that I posted the video, I did my little fancy montage at the end, and I didn't really talk about the plants that I bought or why I bought them. So I'm going to follow up that video with this video and showcase a little bit more of like basic plants that I use for VIVs, why I use the ones that I do, and kind of showcase maybe easier plants that can be utilized in bioactive enclosures. Maybe you're newer to keeping live plants in your VIVs, maybe you haven't tried it before, maybe you haven't had luck keeping live plants in VIVs. And so again, I'm not an expert by any means, but let's go through and kind of look at some of the VIVs I have and some of the plants that I use in these VIVs and why I use them. The ones I choose are either like pretty basic, easy to care for, pretty versatile in their humidity and temperature requirements. They're not really finicky, and they're easy to propagate. And so those are kind of the guidelines I have. They're a little more durable. So yeah, let's walk through, let's check out some of the VIVs I have, and let's kind of showcase some of the more common plant species that are really good for bioactive setups. So one of my favorite plants to grow within a bioactive enclosure is this umbrella plant. It is a very easy plant to work with. I like that it grows pretty wide and fills in a VIV. It's particularly useful for chameleons because they can climb on those skinny branches and it provides cover to them as well. It's pretty tolerant of different climate conditions. I definitely let the soil dry out in between watering, but I mist my cages pretty regularly as well. As you can see, it fills in really nicely in your setup. It is a very easy plant to propagate. All you need to do is take some clippings below the branches, as you see me doing. This is a variegated species, but there are plain green umbrella plants as well. Taking that clipping, dropping it in a glass of water, and once you start to see a really good root base, you can drop it in some soil. I think the most common and most widely used plant inside bioactive enclosures is the pothos, also called the devil's ivy. It's a pretty hard plant to kill. It will get, kind of flaccid, for lack of a better word, if it's underwater. But these are plants that can establish pretty well in any kind of light condition. As you can see, they spread out pretty well across a VIV. They like drier conditions. They can handle wetter conditions. They obviously grow faster in wetter conditions. But you can see that they are a plant that will cover the ground as well as vertically. If you kind of wrap them around branches and stuff, they can grow all over. This is a semi-aquatic VIV, and you can see they do really well in paludariums and semi-aquatic setups as well. Pothos 100% are a very versatile plant to utilize in bioactive setups. This is another common plant utilized in vivariums. This is the snake plant, and it definitely has a smaller root base and can handle not being watered all of the time. And it just acts as a pretty nice subtle accent plant in your vivarium. This plant is becoming one of my favorite plants to use, and I didn't use it in a lot of setups until recently. But this is the ZZ plant. It's another plant that's versatile to different watering conditions. It can handle being dried out for a couple days, and it grows really well in bioactive setups. And propagating it is simple. You just have to dig up the bulbs as it grows in your VIV, and the newly established plants you can transfer to different cages. The aluminum plant is definitely an excellent accent plant to any bioactive enclosures. It's super easy to propagate, it grows pretty rapidly, and this is also a plant that can be utilized in semi-aquatic and fully aquatic setups like in fish tanks. Very cool plant to use. Here's a quick glance at my propagation station at my facility as well. This is the red-eyed croc skink Viv. I kind of showcased it a little bit in my earlier video, and I'm going to talk live because there are a couple different species of plant that I used in here that I really enjoy. The first one being this lemon button fern. They're called lemon ferns, lemon button ferns. One thing I like about them, they do like a more humid climate. They do like a little bit of a more tropical and moist climate. They do really, really well in dart frog vivs, and they will bush like this, like the ferns will have little bushes, but then they will shoot out little sprouts that will like grow little fern bushes in different parts of the viv as well. So you do need to kind of clip it and maintain it, unless you're cool with this guy establishing himself all over your viv. They do grow very, very quickly, and when you have those little offshoots or whatever they're called, pulling those out and disconnecting that cord, I don't know any of my plant vocabulary, but whatever that little shoot is that connects the two plants, snipping that, and then once you have a rooted little thing, kind of like spider plants when they have the little babies that shoot out, and once you get those established in soil and rooted, you can snip that little cord that connects them. Holy cow, I need to research my vocabulary before I make videos like this. Button ferns are really awesome. And then in the back is a variegated version of Ficus Promelia, which is a version of the ficus plant that grows, here I'll move that out of the way. This is a variegated one, but there is a normal green one, and this will take over the whole back wall of the viv. So my goal is that will root up. I'll keep it trimmed coming this way, and that's gonna grow and root up and establish itself all along that background. Again, Ficus Pomelia is another plant that requires a lot of maintenance if you wanna keep it from going crazy. It will grow everywhere all over your viv. I've noticed that they do enjoy more tropical, more wet environments. Again, doing really good in a dart frog viv or a high humidity gecko viv. They are fantastic. And I can't do a vivarium plant video without Ficus Pomelia quercifolia, the creeping fig oak leaf plant. The leaves on this plant are so cool. This is such an awesome species. Probably my favorite vivarium plant of all time. Just like I said with the Ficus Pomelia, these will take over a cage, grow everywhere, and you need to maintain it and clip it if you want to kind of keep it where you want it. If you're cool with it growing everywhere, it will absolutely grow everywhere. I'm going to add some of these clippings to some sphagnum moss in that red-eyed croc skink viv. I'll show you guys that soon. That is kind of my ideal plan, is to have the Ficus Pomelia and then this quercifolia version of it kind of take over the whole back of the viv. But this is absolutely one of my favorite all-time vivarium plants. A little more challenging to propagate in my mind, but definitely one that prefers really humid habitats and will grow like crazy in the right environment. So here's a little life hack for the facility. I keep aquatic turtles inside in the winter months, and even though the water is filtered, you all know turtles are messy, and so I will use their old turtle water to water my plants. That was some bad editing there, but you get the drift. Some of my more fancy plants that I keep in pots, I will utilize the turtle water to keep them watered, keep them hydrated, and it seems to be helping them. I don't water the vivarium plants with the old turtle water, but definitely the potted ones. I thought I would share that. I definitely think there are a lot of advantages to keeping fully planted bioactive enclosures for our animals, and I think it definitely encourages the animals' natural behaviors on top of just being aesthetically pleasing for us. Here's a little montage of some of my newer plants to my collection, as well as some of my arid and succulents that I keep. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks you guys so much for watching.